Have you been screwed over by the rules lately? Well, due to a lot of people not reading the cards properly, we have, and I've been spectating a lot of these issues, and these are the 5 most common misplays and illegal plays that has happened since the Dinosaur release and Maximum Crisis. And hopefully by clearing it up, we won't be soft cheated or screwed over by the rules. Alright, so the first card that I would like to bring up would be Miscellaneous. So this card came out during the Dark Illusions era. But okay, what I've noticed is 2 types of misplays happen with this card. First of all, you can only activate this card during main phase. So seeing people that activate this during the battle phase, I'll be like, oh, did you? I'll be unafraid of anything. Well, remember that it only protects you during the main phase anyways, and you can't really activate it outside of a main phase. So that's the first part. Second part is the other effect of summoning. The summoning effect does blow up the monster at the end. I've seen people leaving their Tyranno Infinities on boards like, oh, I got the 4K beats, like I got the board pressure, I got the damage. Well, you don't, because he's going to blow up anytime soon now. Remember, during the end phase, the monster that's summoned out from Miscellaneous will be destroyed, stated by this part of the effect. You can banish any number of dinosaur-type monsters from your graveyard, including this card, that's the cost. Special summon 1 dinosaur-type monster from your deck with a level equal to the total number of monsters banished to activate this effect. But destroy it during the end phase. Just remember, during the end phase, it does die. And you actually have no excuse for this, especially for those who summon out True King of all Calamities, sitting beside a Naturia Beast, and how you protect this entire board while you put out the Dogaran, the Kaiju. You put out the big Mad Flame Kaiju right beside it, and how did you manage to do that? You banished this card, plus, well, another dinosaur to put a level 2 on board, Petite Pteranodon. When during the end phase it blows up, you put out the Dogaran. If you know that, you have no excuse. And just don't screw people over by the rules, please. Thank you very much. Now let's move on to the second card. Number 2 card screwing the rules right now would be True Dracos Heritage. This card, oh, it's a great card. You know, you can draw up to 3 cards. True enough if you activate it properly. Now note that you do count your opponent's True King and True Draco stuff. So in a mirror match, this card is definitely one of the cards to fear. But what I've noticed is people are drawing extra cards, and what I mean by that is people blow up cards with Draconic Diagram from the hand, say they blow up a masterpiece, and, well, they're attempting to draw with it. That's not the case. If you actually read the card carefully here, it states that during your main phase, you can draw cards equal to the number of True Draco and True King card types, monsters, spells, and traps sent from the field to the graveyard this turn. So it has to be from field to graveyard. Notice why people always set their card before they blow it up is because they want to get the card count up from field to grave. And blowing that card up from hand does not count. Blowing up your opponent's cards count if they're on the field, but just note that you don't want to draw cards when you technically can't, because that's an irreversible game state and that will result in a game loss right away. There's no questions asked. Number 3, we have a True King of all Calamities, the VFD himself. What's the confusion this guy's causing? Well, it actually extends from the terminology of possession. Possession includes, well, let's count it down: hand, field, graveyard, banish zone, exceeds material, and it also counts monsters that aren't summoned properly yet. Say you try to synchro summon something, but it got striked. Well, that card that's mid-summon still in your possession. Just consider it this way: cut the table in half. Anything on your side is in your possession. Okay, now that that's cleared, even the cards in your deck are technically still in your possession. So Fire Hand, Ice Hand, you guys kind of get the idea. Well, about this card, 3 things that people kind of forget. First of all, the attribute changing only affects the field. However, the effect activation prevention affects everywhere, possession-wise. And people also forget that you can't attack. I've noticed that this is one thing that people overlook a lot of the times, especially with, oh, I'll just kaiju off their dude, and then I'll try to swing into the other problem monster, say against like a True King Dino player, they put out a Naturia Beast and a VFD. They kaiju off the monster, and they think that they can just run it over, but that's not the case because you cannot attack. Because even if you remove VFD, the effect is lingering for the entire turn, so you can't really activate anything. And people call the wrong attribute all the time. I don't get why people call it Divine Beast. Like, calling Divine Beast is an absolute waste of his effect. Sure, he can't go into, say, 2 water monster, can't go into Bahamut Shark or anything, but Just because you prevented the Toad, you don't prevent him from activating stuff from the hand or the graveyard. No one's gonna have a hand effect God monster, right? So against Mermail, if you call water, you basically put him under a Dweller effect because nothing in the graveyard would activate for the water monster, so the Atlanteans won't work, and Megalo won't work in hand. That hurts a lot more than calling Divine, where he could just blow up your entire board, summon the Megalo. You guys kind of get the idea, and against dinosaurs, call Earth, so you shut down all the babies, and you shut down the Lithosa gym, so you can't even summon that True King. So, know your plays, understand the cards, understand the terminology, and we'll be fine with this card. Just remember, you can't attack, because too many people has attacked through this effect, and that's wrong. Alright, so number 4, we got Zodiac Chakinine. What's so special about her? Why are we misplaying her? Well, I've noticed people that have been having ruling arguments, but this is easily solved by just reading the card. Is regarding the effect negation and the Xyz material prevention. Once per turn, let's read her effect. You can detach one Xyz material from this card, then target one Zodiac monster in your graveyard. Special summon it, but for the rest of this turn, it has its effects negated, and also it cannot be used as an Xyz material for a summon. Okay, well that's simple enough. So for the rest of the turn, and this is why this card is really good, you can revive a Zodiac Whiptail in attack mode. You can attack with it, and during your turn you can just equip it back onto another monster. You can equip it back onto a Dryden that you left on the board. And even if you put a Dryden on the field, you can eventually, during your turn, put a Whiptail under it, and then basically you have a free Dryden right there. So there's a lot of plays that Laika or Chakinine can extend into. And that's where the confusion comes from. It's like, oh, the effect's negated, why are you exceeding with it? Like, well, it's only for that turn. And note that even though the effect of that monster is negative, most commonly it revives Ram and then gets popped. Remember that graveyard effects are that trigger in the grave. Basically gets reset the moment it's sent to the graveyard. Not the effects that activate and sends itself as a cost, it was activated on field. I'm talking about effects that activate in the graveyard. The grave trigger, they kind of reset. The 5th card that I'm going to be talking about is going to be True Dracos Apocalypse. What's so special about this card that needs clarification? I thought it was pretty simple. Well, it's the damage step. I've noticed a lot of people taking a lot of extra damage and illegal attacks have been going through with this card, so I'm going to clarify it. So one of the situations I've seen is this. There's a Dynamite Knight on the field, and then your opponent attacks with a really big monster, say, I don't know, a Dark Destroyer. And the person controlling True Dracos Apocalypse goes, well, I'm going to activate this card to destroy my Dynamite Knight. And then the other guy goes, well, number of monsters have changed, well, so I'm going to attack you directly now with a replay. There is no replay. That's it. There is no replay because you've already entered the damage step. And that's one interesting thing about this card, because it is a damage modifier that also removes a monster. Think about it this way. This time you're in control versus El Shadow Construct. El Shadow Construct, when you attack a special summon monster, at the start of the damage step, it destroys that monster, correct? And this time you enter damage step, and then you blow up your own monster. There is no replay because you've already entered damage step, and that's it. The only time you get battle replay is that you destroy the monster, the number of monsters on the field has changed, and it is before damage step. That's it. So hopefully that clears it up. If you guys are getting screwed over by these rules, or if there's any other rules you guys are getting screwed over by, leave it down in the comment section below so, you know, we can all clarify. It's a community chat. I would love to hear your thoughts about what are maximum crisis cards that people are misruling or playing incorrectly. Let's clarify it so, you know, everyone gets fair play. And if you like this video, give me a big thumbs up. I really hope this helps you guys out. Hopefully none of you guys are getting screwed over by these rules, especially the Miscellaneous one, because that's the one I've seen the most of any of these. So, alright. And now I'm going to end my turn, so proceed to the end phase. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please drop us a like so we know we are doing a good job, and you can also subscribe to MST.TV for more fantastic videos by clicking on the button on the left. Don't forget to check out our partners at Imperium Duelist. They make really high quality mats, including some of my own limited edition release stuff. And if you want to check out one of our past videos, click here on the right. As always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV, and I'll see you next time.